Hey, this is Sandy with our Wee Tennessee Homestead. So I recorded a video last night that I was going to put up this morning doing some canning. Started doing some canning last night and ran into some problems. So what I wanted to do, I'm going to re-record today and we're going to talk about problems when you're canning. Because canning is great and I love it, but it doesn't always go the way you want it to. So let's talk about it. So last night I started to can 7 quarts of chicken with vegetables, and I'm going to turn this around so you can see what I'm doing. So give me just a second. So I had my quart jars in here. You can see a glisten on the water where they've siphoned out some of the grease. This is what the jars looked like. I had what should have been enough headspace, but that's not the issue anyway. So this canner I had with the quart jars with the chicken and vegetables. This canner, which also had to be stopped in the middle of processing, I had with chicken broth and pints of chicken. So I had several things go on. I was canning in the middle of the night. I did not think to check our gas tank. Our stove runs off of a 20-pound tank of propane. So I didn't think to check that. But this canner, my Presto canner, even though the seal was clean, there was no debris on it, lid was clean, it kept leaking and leaking steam around it. And so I had to stop it twice. Finally switched out. I've got 2 seals for it. I finally switched out the seals, and I lubricated it a little bit with some oil. Anyway, I lubricated it with some oil, got it going. Finally got it where it wasn't leaking steam. It was starting to build up pressure. And then the gas ran out. All of a sudden, my big Miro that I had the pints in, the weight had been jiggling, and it was great. It was awesome. I had it just set at the right temperature and everything for that one to go, and it had processed maybe 20-25 minutes, and all of a sudden, I'm listening and it stopped jiggling. And yeah, so I looked down and the flames were getting lower and out. So a couple things. If you have a canner and you have, if you have a canner that's not an All-American, and I want an All-American because they don't have a seal. But that's not quite in our budget. So we're believing the Lord for an All-American canner. They don't have seals to have to worry about. But if you have a canner that uses seals, number one, I want to encourage you to make sure that you have an extra seal or 2 or 3 for your canner. In the preparedness world, 3 is 2, 2 is 1, 1 is none. If you only have 1 seal for your canner, you basically have none, because if anything happens to that seal, you have no way to can. Number 2, if you're having problems with steam escaping from around the seal, you want to go ahead. Number 1, it's not going to... Even if you do get it up to pressure at some point, it's not going to keep it. It's going to keep, the pressure's going to fluctuate. So you want to stop that canning process and let it cool, let it drop down to where there's no pressure on the canner. You're going to have to open it up, check your seal, make sure it's clean. I have not really thought about lubricating my seals. I've heard some people say to do that. So last night when I put the new seal on, I had also taken a little bit of olive oil and put on that seal. So, and it was after that I finally got it to where the steam stopped escaping. Now my seals are both in good shape. They were bought last year, so I don't think it's an issue with the seal itself. One thing that you want to do is you want to check the rim. Hang on just a second. You want to check the rim of your canner. Make sure, run your fingers along it. Make sure that it's smooth, that there's not any kind of little spurs or things where it's been banged around, because anything that's there could prevent a good seal. So I want to recommend that. Make sure that your steam vent, of course, on your lid itself is clear, which mine was. Mine had vented well. So, so what I'm going to have to do, and especially because, okay, all of these jars actually, the lid's sealed, but they didn't process long enough, so they're not safe. And also because I had siphoning of the, the broth into the water, which does happen sometimes, but it's because I had that siphoning, and I'm going to have to reprocess anyway. I'm actually going to open all of these jars. I'm going to clean them off, as far as the jars that, not the chicken jars, but as far as the pints, but the quarts. I'm going to take them all apart. I'm going to wipe them all down with a cloth with some white vinegar to get all of the grease off of them, and start over with fresh water and go ahead and just reprocess everything. We've got a full tank on now, and just praying that there won't be any problems there. So anyway, I wanted to let you all know that sometimes you do have issues with the canning. Even, you know, if you have that happen, just because your jar is sealed does not mean that they're safe. You've got to reprocess them for the proper amount of time. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to reprocessing these, but I wanted to go ahead and get a video put up today. I want to thank all of our subscribers and our viewers. You guys have hung in there with us while I've been going through a lot of health issues. There have been numerous days in the last few months where I haven't even been able to get out of bed. I haven't been able to walk or anything like that. There's been some challenging times, so it's we have not gotten videos out, obviously, but we appreciate you you hanging in there with us. We'll be having some more stuff coming up. We've got some fruit trees that we want to show you that we planted, that Tim planted. I didn't plant them, Tim planted them. And yeah, some berry bushes and some things that the Lord has worked on. Sorry, look like crap this morning. That the Lord has allowed us to get and put in place, and so we want to show you that. The new chicks are doing good. I've got a splint coming for Nugget, for his spraddle legs, splay legs. So anyway, there's going to be more videos coming up, and we'll see you next time on our Wee Tennessee Homestead. Thanks so much. Please hit the like and the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Obviously, you're not going to get hit with like notifications 20 times a day. So thanks so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye.